Hey, we're Aniplays, and today we'll be watching Classroom of the Elite, labeled as a suspenseful psychological thriller, an anime which is going to be getting a second season after such a long wait. But it's been a while since we've all watched season 1, so we're here to recap the first season over 6 videos, 2 episodes at a time. Today we'll be covering episodes 1 through 2. Be on the lookout for the rest, and without further ado, we're introduced to Japan in the not-so-distant future. The Japanese government has established the Tokyo Metropolitan Advanced Nurturing School, dedicated to instruct and foster the generation of people that will support the country in the future. In this school, students are given a high degree of freedom in order to closely mimic real-life conditions. We're introduced to the perspective of Kiyotaka Ayanokōji, who starts monologuing about equality among humans and how we're unable to accept the concept of inequality. A female adorned with the same clothing as Ayanokōji is trying to get anybody on the bus to give up their seat for an elderly lady, but nobody really seems willing. Eventually, somebody with a different uniform gives up their seat to the woman. We then arrive at the school, where here another female student confronts Ayanokōji for looking at her on the bus. He tells her that he thinks they are similar because of the desire not to get involved. However, she brushes this off abrasively as she has her own reasons for not giving up the seat. Ayanokōji is unperturbed and brushes past the incident. However, once we get to the classroom, coincidentally, Ayanokōji and the girl from earlier are seated next to each other. After a little bit of mingling between the students, a student named Hirata gets up and proposes that everybody introduces themselves. Kushida eagerly agrees and the class goes around introducing themselves. However, once the class gets to Ayanokōji, he awkwardly introduces himself, thinking that he's ruined his social standing right from the very start. The girl sitting right next to him laughs at him when he does so. When it's Sudo's turn to introduce, he flat out refuses. He seems like a fun guy. The students are then interrupted by the homeroom teacher, Chabashira, entering the classroom. She explains the point system where everybody gets a monthly allowance of 100,000 points that they can use as money at the local school campus shops, with 1 point equaling 1 yen. Why couldn't I go to school here? And also warns the students that they are judged on merit. Ayanokōji begins navigating through the system, being careful about how he spends his points, while attempting to become friends with the brazen Suzune Horikita at a schoolroom, commenting on each other's lack of social skills. But their conversation soon shifts to the fact that there's an aisle with free items. Seems kinda weird. In a attempt to become friends, Kyoko recruits Kiyotaka with a little help from the animators to bring Suzune to a cafe secretly arranged by Kyoko. But Suzune sees through their plan and leaves. She is wary of Kushida and wonders what her ulterior motives may be. As the month of April passes, the majority of Class D lavishly spends their points and slacks off in class without any reprimand. On the first day of the new month, all the students are confused because they haven't received any more points. What's going on? Well, it turns out the students aren't just getting a free 100,000 yen every month. In reality, the points are awarded on a merit-based system and the class completely failed. Tardiness and low effort cost them their points. As to why they weren't notified about this system, because in the real world, you'll have to come to the table knowing what's going on. It's clear at this point that there's more to the school than what's right at the surface. Shei Chabashira, the homeroom teacher, explains how the system works at the school, as the first 4-year classes are all ranked by merit, and that Class D has the opportunity to be promoted to Class C, should they perform exceptionally well on exams. She also warns them that with their current situation, whoever fails one more exam will be expelled. Now fully aware of the system, along with some more fan servicing, everybody is taking their studies far more seriously, except for the 3 biggest idiots in the class: Haruki Yamauchi, Kanji Ike, and Ken Sudo. Like I said, a fun guy. Suzune Horikita treats Kiyotaka Ayanokōji to an expensive lunch to discuss strategy, as well as bringing aboard the 3 idiots to the library for a study group. After Kiyotaka fails to collect the 3, he goes on to recruit Kyoko Kushida, who succeeds in getting them to come. But they leave immediately due to Horikita's behavior, while Ken lets everybody know that he wants to make it rich quickly by going pro in basketball. That night, Kyoko goes out for a drink from a vending machine and overhears Suzune talking to her older brother, Manabu Horikita, the student council president, as Manabu tries to attack her over a disagreement about her view of isolation being independence, which caused her placement in Class D in the first place. Kiyotaka intervenes, and after dodging several of Manabu's strikes nimbly and with ease, impressing him as he questions the martial art that he practices, only to get the answer, "I play piano and do calligraphy on the side." Manabu then remembers who Kiyotaka is, as he reveals that he scored a 50 on his entrance exams and recent quizzes. Before he asks if it was intentional, Kiyotaka replies that it was just a coincidence. Manabu voices his surprise that his sister made a friend, but she denies that she doesn't need such a thing, where he voices his disappointment on her mindset before leaving. Suzune and Kiyotaka speak with each other as she awkwardly apologizes to him for her earlier state, but he shrugs it off as if it were nothing. She soon remarks about his martial art fighting proficiency as he answers that he used to do non-martial art activities like tea ceremonies, before Suzune reminded him that he contradicted his previous statement where he said that he did piano and calligraphy, which he agreed to as well. "I might need to start playing the piano if I can get fighting moves like those." She questions him on her brother's earlier question on whether he intentionally got the same exact half scores each time, but he doesn't give her a clear answer. Suzune then remarks that everything about him is a mystery. He brushes her off and asks her if she was really done with the study group, which she confirms, stating those who fail don't concern her. Kiyotaka soon inquires on whether if it was this distant and cold behavior of hers that got her placed in class, but she doesn't reply. The exams come in, and somehow Class D as a whole performs very well, with some scoring among the highest among the first years in the school. Something seems fishy. Well, that's all we can show you for today. Join us next time as we cover episodes 3 and 4 of Classroom of the Elite. And